We do on a live stream. We also have quite a few guests here, particularly people that have signed up for the website in the past couple of days. In fact, I will start doing screen sharing right now, so maybe we could you could see my screen as I'm speaking to the various people on the call. If anyone wants to see me and my screen, please, at the very top of NAIP.org, there is a click there that says the word live, NAIP live. Let me see who's on this call. In the meantime, we have Brian Davis. Hello, Brian.
Hello, David.
Hey, Brian, we know each other for quite a while. I believe you set up your website pretty well, and you recently put the video there, which is definitely a good thing. That video came across as very good. We did have a very brief discussion of the technique that New York Life has been doing for the last 100 years. You write out a list of your favorite 200 relatives and friends, and you offer them an insurance policy, whether it be an index universal life or a whole life policy. Especially from a mutual insurance company, these things tend to do pretty well. So if this is something that you could show, New York Life agents do pretty well. If you could add to that, showing people how to set up a website just like you did, especially that you put video at the top. In fact, I'll take a look at Brian's. Brian, what is your domain name so I could take a look at it?
BrianDavis67.com.
Brian Davis67.com. I just started using Restream.com. Ideally, Brian did tell me the idea. He said, if you want to be a star at YouTube, you have to make stuff more interesting. And probably the best way to make stuff more interesting is to give people what they want as opposed to what you want to talk about. In the past, I've been doing this call. I've been speaking individually to a lot of insurance agents, trying to encourage them to put the website on their own domain name, do the proper steps to move up the search engine. But I have to tell you, that's not rocket science. If anyone wants to make money as a financial salesperson, do whatever you can to come across as professional. I should, if I have to repeat it, 18 times to put the website on your own domain name, do the proper steps to move up the search engine, maybe you should be finding a different job. I've repeated multiple times on this call that adding a value added to your repertoire of services is the way to go. It's called incentive-based marketing. You give someone something, they probably will like you. That's what NAIP has been doing for the past couple of years. We have over 13,000 people in our system. Again, as an aside, when you are a life insurance, a Medicare, a financial salesperson of any sort, your number one selling point is yourself. So whatever you could do to come across as a top level, to have people remember you and respect you as a professional. Brian, I hate to be the bearer of good news and bad news, but the video that you put on your website definitely gets an A for that they will remember you. That's on a positive. As a top level professional, maybe you are correct. Maybe this will work as well. But I guess I'm not sure if this picture. Who is this, by the way? This female on your site.
It is an up and coming singer. She's been around for a while, but her and I have been talking for quite a few years now. And right now, we're sort of keeping everything quiet, but we want to change that soon.
I get you. She sounds like a very interesting person to talk to. I'm sure you have very deep conversations.
Yeah, we've had a few.
But hey, guys. But Brian, whatever business you're in, whether it be the entertainment business or the financial service selling business, you did a good job. If you could, there's multiple business owners that would love to have websites and put video of themselves at the top of their site. Just about any business out there, professionalism is nice, the whole suit and tie type thing, but really being out there and available and accessible is what most people, most business owners, most customers are looking for. Imagine you're getting your plumbing fixed or your electricity fixed. the guy comes into your house, he has a major influence on the quality of your life. If you have electricity and you have plumbing, wouldn't it be nice to know that he's available, that he's accessible, that he's not trying to hide behind some sort of corporate entity that you've never heard of? And you're definitely pulling that one off, that you're out there and you're available. And if I scroll down on Brian's website, it mentions, I guess that's you, Davis. Is this you, Davis? Madden.
Oh yeah, that was from a few years ago.
You actually look older, so that's pretty weird. That it's from a couple of years ago. I'm like, it looks like someone older than your face, but I guess you're from a different perspective. But in any case, this is what we're looking for. We're looking for what we do better. What my company does better than anyone else out there is we give you this website building platform. You might as well take advantage of it. The vast majority of insurance, the good thing is the vast majority of independent insurance agents, based on my experience, are just not psychologically, mentally, and physically able to do stuff well. We're getting a lot of people who physically do not get hired by the big financial firms. There was a gentleman on the call a couple of days ago. If you look at the call from, I believe, Thursday, I had some technical problems there, but you could hear what he had to say. He was a career agent. He may still be a career agent for New York Life. They start agents at 55%, and that's where they stay. My company just inked a deal with a major financial company, a mutual insurance company. We start people at either 90 or 100%, which if anyone is good at mathematics, that's pretty close to double. And I did learn a little about by speaking to this gentleman that I spoke to him. He said, yeah, for the last couple of weeks or months, I've been saying these companies have you write out a list of your 15 to 20 favorite relatives. And he told me it's 200. And you don't try to reinvent the wheel. You copy people that are doing well. The big issue with independent insurance agents is they don't stay in business. They don't wake up in the morning. They don't close big enough deals that could pay their bills. So they end up doing something else. So we have all the contracts. I believe Lisa is on this call from Missouri. Hello, Lisa. Lisa, can you hear me? Lisa we also have Mr. Evans from California. Hello, Mr. Evans.
Hello.
Okay, I know hey, Mr. Evans. I know I'm getting a little bit on the downer side. I believe I sent you out one of the provisions I should mention with the major life insurance company, mutual life insurance company that we're contracted with. I can't mention them on YouTube or emails or internet. But I believe I sent you over some sort of contracting that you did fill out. I did send out that email blast a couple of days ago that specifically mentioned a top 5 mutual insurance company. Hopefully you guys do well with it and make money. And it's not very hard to imitate a company that's been doing this for the last 100 years. And whatever technique they're using, it's really key to learn the product line. Okay, I did mention to Brian before this call, in order to make this interesting for a YouTube audience, which we know could go for years and years and years, I have to make these calls a little bit interesting. So in order to make it interesting, I probably should figure out how to get other people's pictures on this YouTube stuff. I signed up for a company called Restream.com. It's $40 a month or so. I'm doing screen share, so anyone on YouTube, if at the very top of NAAIP.org, there's a click there that says NAPE Live. If you click that, you can see me on YouTube. You can see my screen. And there is probably a button here where I can invite guests. So in the future, I would like to, it says here, invite guests. Hey, voila, I found it. It says invite guests. Invite up to 10 guests. I copy it. Okay, let me send Brian, I'm going to send you I'm going to send you an email. Brian, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to send you a text message. Let me see how this works. I see you right here. I'm going to send you a text message. Just click that. In fact, I will send Robert Evans. Robert, you're on this call as well, right? What I'm going to do, Robert, I'm going to ask you questions almost like an interview to make it a little bit exciting. And hopefully, okay, you're in Fontana, California. You're in probably my, Robert, what's your email? Okay. Okay. In the meantime, let's we can worry about this later. We don't have to do it right now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Lisa.
Oh, sorry. Are we supposed to be able to see your screen?
Right.
All I see now.
You could see my screen on YouTube if you're on YouTube at the very top of NAAIP.
Okay.
Share your screen. At the top of NAAIP.org, there's a click there for NAAIP Live. You click that, it takes you, or you could just Google the word NAAIP live stream, YouTube, and it will pop up as well. And Kay's on this call as well. Hello, Kay. Hey, Kay, I'm gonna send you that. If you want to get your face on this, I'd be more than tickled pink if that's your decision. But I know Brian is not shy. Maybe I'll post it in my password protected back office. In fact, I'll go there right now. Let me just go here. Have signed up. What does it say? News. I have a news section. In fact, I'm not logged in, so I have to log in. I guess I'm showing my username, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, news. You are looking at my latest news. I'm a view all news.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, I'm on that. I clicked on that YouTube thing on the top of NABE.org, and it brought me to your YouTube where it shows the canal, not the canal, but the intercoastal.
Oh, it's not live?
Uh-uh.
Okay, let me click over it. I just started to decide to do, it says here end stream. Maybe it shows up later and not now. That could be what they're doing. Maybe there's a delay of some sort. I got confused. I was on this a couple of days ago, and I thought it wasn't showing, but maybe it's going to show up later. What I could do is how am I going to solve this one? If you want to see me, okay, Brian, I do see Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hey.
Hey, Brian, you're front and center. I'm trying to learn this. You're on air. According to Lisa, we're not live on YouTube, but like exactly at the proper time. But it does say the word live here. I guess it's not exactly live. There's some sort of delay. So you click that and there's nothing showing up, Lisa, right?
Yeah.
So there is a delay. So I probably clicked the word end stream and it probably has some sort of delay and it shows up later as a feed. That's probably what they're doing. Darn. Okay, in the meantime, if you want to see me right now, here, now, and now, if you go to uberconference.com/NAAIP, I may have to, if this is the case, I may have to switch to Zoom. Because most people have Zoom listed on their cell phone or as one of their downloaded projects. Okay, this ain't gonna work. So if it's not showing live, well, it makes sense. It's pretty hard for these companies to show live at the same time. I'm also sharing. I'm on uberconference.com/NAIP as well. So if you're on that, you could see me as well. But Brian's also on this on YouTube. I guess you could be at two places at one time. Okay, Brian, let me give you a couple of questions. Might as well try to figure out how to use this system, because eventually my goal in life is to be a star of some sort. And if I don't know how to use YouTube, it's probably not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's not probably, it's just not going to happen. We do have, let me see what it says here. It says maximum. Okay, Brian, you've been in the sales business for quite a while. And tell us what you were doing previous to insurance. And how long have you been in the insurance business?
I just want to make sure you can hear me, right?
I can hear you.
Okay. I had graduated from college right before getting into the insurance industry.
And how old are you now?
I turn 35 next month.
Wow, time is flying.
Yes, it is.
And so you've been working. So you did graduate college. Which means you're pretty educated. I'm sure you took the insurance test. It took you, how long did you study for it?
I always wanted to go into business, but I ended up getting a degree in geography. It was easy.
I get you. Yes. Which means it was hard to get a job afterwards.
Well, I am a pool player, and I wanted to start a business so that I could travel around playing tournaments. So I didn't want to get a full-time job, although that's what I ended up doing.
I get you. And how much? So you made money from pool?
No, because I got into the insurance industry and it didn't go as planned.
I get you. Okay, you mentioned to me previous you were with multiple multi-level marketing companies. What happened? You could actually even name the companies. I personally won't name any insurance company or any competitor or any multi-level marketer. I just say the word generically multi-level marketing. But you could feel free to mention at least, let's say, one time. Or you could just say the word MLM, whatever you want. You could describe who you work for and mention the word MLM. That's probably the best way to go.
Yeah, I've learned a lot through the years, so I'm glad everything went the way it did.
Did you mention to me you work for a couple of these MLMs that start you off at really low commissions? Like, how low were those commissions?
They were supposed to be 55, and then they ended up being 45, and who knows?
I get you. Okay, let me play with this computer a little bit. Now, okay, oh, I see. Okay, I'm maximizing you. Let me see. Oh, I see what it is. Okay, okay. Now everyone's looking at my screen, and we're looking at the two of us equally on the side. I'm clicking around this back office of Restream.com, trying to figure out how it is. Any technology that anyone gets, you have to click around. If you decide you don't like clicking around, Houston, we have a problem. But in the meantime, let me put Brian on maximum again, because he's definitely more interesting than this back office. So you've had the insurance license for how long?
Since 2011.
I get you. 2011. Right now, that's 9 years. Have you made money in the business?
Not really, to be honest.
You've had other jobs to supplement your income or actually like pay your bills?
Multiple jobs at once, yeah.
and not good jobs, Amazon type warehouse. Amazon is hiring.
Yeah, they're always hiring. Yeah, jobs like that.
I get you. So with a college degree, it's a little bit, insulting in a way, especially you're in Indiana, which may not have seen as much immigration as the rest of the country, but I guess you meet all the people from different countries in these type of jobs.
There's a variety of different people, that's for sure.
I get you. And so you've had these jobs generally, they're manual labor or using a forklift type jobs. Is that what they are?
Exactly what they are.
I did mention earlier in the call the New York Life system that they've been using for 100 years, that you write out a list of your favorite 200 relatives. I suppose you did not work for a company like that.
No.
So you work for the second tier for people that primarily cannot get hired by New York Life, people that show up and they start at these low commissions and they try to sell you leads. Was that the business plan that you were into?
Yeah, I was supposed to get real excited about it.
And they get you excited, and you notice you're the only American-born person in the room besides the owner, the manager, or even the manager wasn't American-born.
Yeah, it was a variety of people.
I'm just trying to be entertaining. But the fact is, we are in a situation where you have to make a living. And these type of companies that are hiring a very high immigrant population, they're really targeting their bank account on emptying it out to sell them leads. I'm not in this business. I haven't been in this type of business, but it's based on speaking to enough people, that's what it sounds like. Am I somewhat accurate?
That's exactly what they're doing, yeah.
And they're targeting people that cannot get hired by Northwest Mutual or New York Life or Mass Mutual for the most part.
Probably.
Right. I did have a conversation on Thursday with a gentleman from New York Life, and he specifically mentioned they've got the 200 friends and relatives technique, and they sell these big whole life policies. The interest rates for the most part on a mutual insurance company is 5.5%. The excess profits go into dividends, which go to the owners of these whole life policies. And you can imagine if you come from a middle to upper middle income background, you've got enough people in your warm network who could buy these type of policies. But people generally, if they come from immigrant backgrounds, it's hard for them to make a list of 200 people who could afford $400, $500, $600, $700 per month. I believe that's what the difference is. Since that demographic, for the most part, does not succeed in these career agencies that are mutual, that's how they end up on these multi-level marketing systems, where they're primarily selling final expense or mortgage protection, which is hard to make a living on that because you are targeting lower income people or older people who are unsophisticated. There's only so much money in it. And that is the scoop there. Let me head back over to uberconference.com, see who else is on this call. Kay. Hi, Kay. Kay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Kay, I know I'm coming across a little bit crass or a little bit unusual, but all I do is speak to people and I hear what I'm saying. And probably the best of every world is to combine all these systems. Obviously you're going to run into people that need final expense once in a while. That's probably
not really true, David. I've known people that's done very well with final expense. It's just you have to just get the right people. I mean,
Right, that is correct. But I've noticed all over the internet. Someone did ask me a couple of days ago, why is all over the internet there always seem to be recruiting for final expense? And my answer, which you could correct me, I'll just give you what I gave as the answer. I said, hey, you're selling insurance to older, unsophisticated, lower income people, and there's no shortage of insurance agents who pass that 40-hour exam who are lower income, unsophisticated, that have bank accounts that can be emptied out to sell leads to. But now we'll give you your take on it, which may be better than mine because I'm not in this business.
well, they say every day a person turns 65, and you have a lot of people that really need to file expense. Sometimes they've worked jobs for a number of years, and after retirement, they look up and they don't have any life insurance. So you can make a lot of money. It's just that you have to pre-qualify some of these people before you go out there, because the way they send these leads out, some people think they're getting something for nothing. So
I get you. For the most part, they're doing postcard leads or Facebook leads.
you can do both. I prefer direct mail.
Well, that's what I call postcard leads. It's also called direct mail.
Right, because with the Facebook leads, you have to call them immediately. If you don't, call them a day later, or I don't know, I don't need it. So I just prefer the direct mail.
Right, I get you.
But at least when they take the time to fill it out, most of the time they're interested. But sometimes you'll find those people that are looking for something for nothing. So.
I get you. Kay, my only take on this is we've got contracts from one major final expense company. We set everyone up at the highest commission level, and a company that has 5 different whole life policies, everything from guaranteed issue to a super preferred. So if you need that, you may have gotten contracted. Hopefully you'll learn that product. You'll make it part of your portfolio. And if
I closed this past Tuesday with one of the final expense.
Okay, so all that negative stuff I've been saying about final expense, let me just delete that. Since I'm in front of the computer all day, I use computer language. I'll press the word delete.
I mean, to be honest, I walked into some apartment complex and I'm going like, oh no, I know they can't afford it or whatever. But you don't want to judge a book by its cover because this guy bought it.
Yeah, I get you. It's like anything else. If you have a good deal on something, through us, it's 122% to start. And if you've got a good product line, a good deal, and you've got a good lead source, you can make a living at anything. What I'm really speaking about is these people that come into this business at these super low commission levels, and they're being marketed by these recruiters that immediately are selling them leads. And you may have heard me speak in the past that you have to be an expert on lead generation. You have to be the king of the hill, the queen of the castle, and you have to do a deep dive on whatever lead system you're using, whether it be direct mail, postcards, Facebook. None of this stuff is that hard to figure out, and be a direct source. Let me just, I should mention on my naip.org/lead-services page, there is a click there. There is some information there about do-it-yourself mailers. There was a gentleman who told me that he put his wife's picture on the postcard, and that was the trigger that got him to become rich on these direct mail postcards, letters. He put not him. It's not something I could do because I'm a male. I guess the female works better than the male.
Well, I feel the way I feel about the internet leads is that it's better to just advertise yourself on that internet, because if you just get on there by internet leads, I mean, like I said, they don't know you from Adam. So.
Right, and also what's happening is if you buy from someone else, they could very easily be selling it to someone else, and it's just too risky.
Mm-hmm.
And you're dealing with high-tech computer people that know how to click buttons and know how to sell stuff, so it's easy enough they could click that over to someone else.
Because you can promote yourself on the internet. That's the best way to get the lead.
Right. The good thing about Facebook is if you advertise, you could do it within a very small radius, within 2 miles of your house, 3 miles of your house.
Right.
It's not very hard to pick up. You start off at $2 or $3 a day. Once you pick it up, you could increase the budget. And that's they call it direct mail. Direct mail, is postcard marketing the same thing as direct mail?
Yes, it is the same. And to me, it's better.
Okay, that's what they say about the only thing we want you to do, Kay. I may have sent you. I did send out that email blast about our top 5 mutual insurance company. It's a similar product line, but better than New York Life. And New York Life agents tend to make a living. And the commission is pretty much double. So, and that's the reason specifically why I cannot mention their name on an email blast or on YouTube. So you could definitely, once you get contract, if you do a deep dive and you learn the product line, you will be incredibly better off for it. Since you do have this license, you might as well take advantage of everything you're allowed to offer.
Yes.
And you'll run into these people. If I was in this business, I would probably do 6 months of Medicare, 6 months of final expense, and a year of the traditional life insurance. This way you have all the bases covered and you can just whip out something whenever you run across any sort of need.
Well, I'm trying to get into annuities myself.
Right. That's why that's the traditional life. That's the company that I sent you off is a top producer of annuities, whether it be indexed annuities or fixed deferred or fixed indexed. And it's only the major annuity companies that will have annuities that one can pay on employers can pay on a regular basis. Let's say you run into a company that has 10 employees to set up a pension plan. Very few, only the major ones have that. And the company that we're pushing is a top 5 provider of indexed annuities for employer sponsored plans.
And David, mortgage protection is also very good because you can use that for small businesses. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a mortgage,
Right. Mortgage protection is just another name for lower value, easy issue stuff. But we all know as part of the insurance business, if something's easy to get accepted to, it probably means it's a little bit more expensive.
This one is universal life, where it's going to deal with a little bit of, interest over time in 25, 30 years with a cashback option. And that's pretty good for a small business owner or a mortgage protection. So this one's pretty good.
I get you. So what we definitely want you to do is the company that you did make a sale to earlier last week also is very big into the mortgage insurance. They do have a 20-year term with return premium. If you do the numbers, return of premium is a really good deal for the consumer, simply because the vast majority of people will not pay the term for 20 years, so there's a lot of profit. So if you get to that 20 years, they'll give it back to you. If you do the numbers, the interest rate is really good.
Yeah, I was checking them out this morning. In fact, I like them better than the other company I was looking at.
Right. Plus, you are at the top commission level, which is definitely a bonus.
I'm just trying to get in touch with more small business owners.
I get you. But so check out, let's do a deep dive on the mutual life insurance company that I sent you. They are in the top couple of indexed annuities for small businesses. You can make a fortune on that if you sell one of those type policies. You get multiple, you get a company with 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 people, and you're their pension salesperson. That's a lot of money.
Right. I'm really not interested in Medicare, but I'm interested in annuities. And
right. The problem with Medicare is you really have to do those certifications, which are very time consuming. And
Exactly.
Medicare, for the most part, pays residual incomes 10 years out. And if you do not pass the exam 1 year, they take all your residual income, which is very nerve-wracking.
To me, it's just a lot of work, and you can make even more money and just work in the life insurance and annuities, mortgage protection.
Right. There's no shortage between the mortgage protection and the whole I call it the New York Life business model. There's no shortage of money in that.
Exactly. More money, less time.
I get you. So the video that we have on Brian's website is moving. It could be that I'm doing screen share. It's not moving. I'm doing screen share. It's slowing everything down. But we do see that Brian has a video on his website, getting all excited after he put something in the pocket. Let me take a look at the rest of Brian's website as we scroll down. He edited this. I guess Brian got rid of all the quote engines besides the one at the very top, which talked about the one at the top. What does it say? It says final expense. I guess, Brian, you're cognizant of that you only have the final expense quote engine at the top?
Yeah, I tried to have something with annuities on there too. I'm not sure.
You could only put one at the top. You could put something in the middle and the bottom.
Okay.
And you also have that. You also have that part of the website. Let me just take a look where it is. We just go to our main page, naip.org, at the very, very top. There's a click that's quoters. I guess these are all our quoters anyways. You've got this shopping and starts now, which I believe is the best quoter that we have, where it shows all the quoters in one place. If you make that live, I believe it'll look pretty good. But put it at the bottom. Actually, I've seen a lot of websites that don't have quoters at the very top, and it just make it highlight your picture more, especially if you came up with a good video.
Okay.
Similar to what these people have, a gentleman named nape.org/David. We click life insurance quotes, get instant. Yeah, he put that in there. A little bit below is the Medicare quoter. He's got the video. Final expense he put towards the bottom. And this is what I was talking about. Shopping and saving starts here.
Oh, yeah.
That looks pretty good. It just makes it look really professional. It seems to me you click the word hide instead of display. Okay, hold on a second. Someone is knocking on my door. Hey, Brian, if you're still here, Brian's still here and Kay's here. I'm not sure how I'm gonna pull this off. I guess I'm gonna have to be on Uber conference as well as YouTube, because otherwise I won't be able to do screen sharing. Is it correct, Brian? Can you see my screen on YouTube, or it's still on that?
I can see your screen on the link you sent me.
Oh, because I sent you that link, you could see my screen, but otherwise you could not see it on live on YouTube.
I'll check. I have it on Uber conference right now.
Okay, you're in a couple of different places.
David, it says you're offline.
Okay, so apparently the YouTube won't become live until after this call is over. I was hoping only to do this on YouTube, but now I gotta go into all my email blast and all this other stuff and change everything. It happens. But in any case, so Kay, whatever you do is good. You're in Houston, Texas. And if you could pull this off, sell through us, I shouldn't say sell through us, sell through the companies that we're pushing, especially this new company that we're majorly pushing, because I just haven't seen the success that I was hoping for on the final expense mortgage protection. It could be that the major recruiting companies are holding people's hands. They're really holding your hand and say, sell leads, buy these leads from me, or they really jack down the commission. And the marketing company pays for the leads. There's a couple of business models out there. This particular business model really is dependent on, we get a lot of people in our system, but that necessarily does not cause people to sell, because these other business models probably work better in that regard of causing people to sell. But on a long-term basis, as this website technology is becoming perfected, you guys should appreciate that incentive-based marketing is a major tool, and especially if you're giving away websites to business owners. And if you could manage to do the quality of this website similar to what Brian did of putting the video at the top, you can make a living. But that's really more towards the selling insurance to business owners, which would be the annuities and major life insurance policies.
Yes, Dave, may I add that right now I'm hearing that it's pretty slow across the board now with a lot of people in final expense because of the, and everybody's kind of.
Well, it's always slow. The final expense is always slow, except for the couple of people who really know how to close. If someone's.
No, that's not what I'm hearing, because I spoke to some lead companies here, a big one down there in Dallas, and they're saying the same thing. In Texas, it's really slow, and across the country, it's not like it used to be, I guess, because it's like any other industry. A lot of people are suffering. I mean, we might be okay, but a lot of people are still pretty bad.
I get you. Maybe but isn't the final expense industry dependent on people that are afraid to pass the hat at a funeral? People that are.
Not really. I mean, you'll have middle class, the lower middle class. Now, you don't want upper middle class to the rich, of course, because they won't buy. But it's a lot of average people that are just not. All of them are not just dirt poor. I mean, like I said, a lot of them have retired and they just no longer have the insurance with the company, and they just need to buy their own.
I get you, but it is a thing about passing the hat that terrifies quite a few people.
Yes. I mean, you kind of always have those people that really can afford it, but they just rather pay for their cell phone. And then when someone that they love dies and don't have the coverage, then they'll call you and say, "Oh no, I gotta get it." But I mean, you'll never get away from those type of people.
I get you. So the only thing where whatever causes you to pull in, let's say a $2,000 a week that's where you go. We all know that the average salary in America is $1,000 a week. If you're in commission sales, since it's such a not pleasant experience to walk up to total strangers on a regular basis and ask them for money, and especially in the insurance business where you're investing the money yourself, you're actually the rainmaker as opposed to working in a department store. So you have to make double the national average income. So to make it worth the while. Based on my conversation again with the gentleman on Thursday, the New York Life system of really learning the product line of a major mutual insurance company seems to be the way to go. And writing out a list of 200 relatives and friends and feeling confident that you have something that these people need may be a good addition to whatever you're doing now. That's all I'm saying. Continue with, if you're making that $2,000 a week, after lead expenses, you might as well continue. But at the same time, learn this other product line so that situation continues.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm continuing to work on it.
I get you. Okay, so we are good to go. It's a little bit technical issues. I did send out an email blast telling people to go to YouTube at 12 noon Eastern time, but that would only work if I'm not using this company called Restream.com, which is the only way I could do. It's the only way I could do your recording. What I could probably do, let me do an experiment right now. Let me go to, I'm on Restream.com. Let me see how I do this. But if I go to YouTube concurrently, and if I press live, but it won't, this system won't let me share my screen. It says here right now, I'm on a computer right now. It says NAPE Live, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let me click it. It says live now. Maybe there's a slight delay. Started streaming 46 minutes ago. It's live.
Okay, let me check that.
I'm checking too.
Maybe there's a slight delay. Did I just say that? I just said slight, the word there. I think there's a slight delay. I said that 20 seconds ago.
I don't understand why I say you're live, stream offline. Is it my computer?
I just said slight, the word there. I think
It's not showing. Yeah.
Maybe it's on my computer because it's my account. Let me go to a different browser. I just heard Brian speak on there. Okay, let me go to a different browser, which I'm not logged in. I'll just go to YouTube, not now. Boom. I click NAIP live stream. Right here, it says live now. One watching now. Boom. I'm gonna X this out and we go from there. But it is live streaming. Let me go there again to see if it's the proper one. YouTube. Live stream. That has the whole NAPE logo there that I just put up, so it is working. Okay, I do. I know it's probably not that exciting, but if you're in any business, one has to recognize what is the proper technique. In my particular business, which is developing a computer program, which is supposed to get 10, 20, 30% of every insurance agent in America, I have to become proficient at YouTube. I don't have a choice. So it seems a little bit weird. I'm on YouTube live stream, start clicking around, but ignoring what you're supposed to be proficient at is not the solution. You can't go 1 year or another. Say, oh, I don't feel like doing YouTube. There is no choice. This is the job. Your job as an insurance agent, Kay or Brian, is to become proficient at your profession as well. If you've got a company, which I've mentioned a few times, New York Life, that has a system that's been working for over 100 years, let's imitate those people, and let's not imitate, XYZ MLM that popped up 5 minutes ago. Does that make sense, Brian?
It does.
Okay, let me put you on mute on one, but that's really what it comes down to. Who's ever doing well, that's who you imitate. And I'll figure out this YouTube thing eventually. And I can get, once I do, but I noticed the couple of no one's doing live stream on YouTube. Is that pretty accurate?
I haven't seen anything.
Any insurance recruiting companies doing live stream on YouTube? There's always a problem when you're the first one doing it. There may be a reason why those other people aren't doing it.
I think I saw a few on Facebook, but not YouTube. But I haven't really looked.
But I'd like to make this a 6 day. Yeah, if I'm doing this conference call 6 days a week, I might as well put it on YouTube. It just seems, like obvious. Captain Obvious. I've been doing these calls for a couple of years on audio. Finally decided to do video. It's the next step to do it on YouTube. Man, let me see what these. So you saw people doing it. No one did. It seemed like a great idea to advertise YouTube then the phone for the video and the screen sharing, and the audio based on the phone call. This way you automatically get a lot of views on YouTube, and it pushes it up. And if you see the word live stream or live, not edited, it tends to make people feel more, it tends to be more exciting. Oprah Winfrey, well, she tapes her shows, or she did, right?
Probably.
Right, and they edit out stuff that doesn't, but they're not doing much editing on Oprah Winfrey. Or any Ricky Lake. I haven't watched it for a while. What are they? Who's popular now?
Ellen DeGeneres and
someone else.
who knows?
Someone. Ellen DeGeneres is okay. So we're good in that regard. Let me see if I'm on still.
Springer.
Oh, there's a new one. What's his name?
The Jerry Springer show.
Oh, Jerry. Well, that's from like the 1970s. That's like going back. That's what I remember. Okay, so we're good. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of technical, but ideally, if you're in any business, copy people who are doing well. And I can tell you this whole issue of copying people that are all struggling ain't such a great idea. I'm not saying that whole mutual life insurance company, everyone becomes a millionaire, but you might as well combine those two systems. That seems to be the most logical way to go. You couple that with this website technology stuff, you're offering it to business owners, and it seems like a winner. We don't know if unless people are doing it, hypothetically, it sounds like a winning way to go. But we definitely need people to implement it, and that's probably why we're offering such high commissions right from the get-go to get people in our system, and that's why these websites are so free, specifically for that reason. Okay, I've got to get going right now. I do appreciate you all coming here today. Normally, I had quite a few people here when I did not have all this technical issues about Uber and YouTube. We got 10, 20, 30 people here every day, and that's probably why I kept doing what I was doing, because to get 30 people to a conference call every day is not such a terrible thing for anyone who's in the insurance agent recruiting market. Kay called back up. Hi, Kay. Okay, Kay left. I guess that's why I kept it, because it was working to an extent. But there's nothing like YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna get going. I do appreciate you all coming in here today. And I probably should learn how to do these clicks a little bit better. But Zoom it says a connect Zoom OBS. I may have to switch to Zoom. It says connect Zoom, OBS, vMix, etc. Invite guests. So I invited you, and so Brian, when you got that link, what did you do from studio.restream.io?
I clicked the link, and then it took me to a page, just had me enter my name and connected.
Oh, you put in your first and last name, no password, no nothing?
Yeah.
And the camera worked? So I guess they're using the same technology of uberconference.com, where you don't have to put in a password or anything.
Right.
I get you. Okay, so we are good. I do appreciate you coming here. I'll be here tomorrow. Eventually, I'll figure this out, but it's pretty hard to become a celebrity if you're only giving a 6-day per week conference call to 10, 20 people per day. So that YouTube thing has to be done.
Can you hear me, David?
I hear you, Kay.
Okay, you can't hear me on YouTube. So.
Oh, YouTube, I'm not sure is not a phone company.
Right, you're lying. So you can't communicate with me. So I had knocked myself off.
Okay, Kay, I thought I came up with a brilliant idea that no one is doing. That I was so proud of myself. I pat myself on the back. I'm like, hey, I'll do a 6-day per week video conference, interviewing people, make it a little bit more interesting. Instead of me saying the same thing over and over and over, more getting into having you guys talk and telling me what's this way. It could take off a little bit more on YouTube, because it would be more.
That way we can learn from each other.
Right, but if that's the case, but the issue is we get a lot of people that aren't really making a living. Like you're making sales, so you have what to learn. But other people, that may not be the case.
I mean, even if they're just selling 1-2 policies a month, I mean, they have to have some type of experience to share.
Not really. If you're only selling 1 or 2 policies a month, you probably should find a full-time job somewhere.
Well, maybe they got a full-time job.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. But I guess now that we have we actually have the product line right now. We have a major final expense company, a major mutual life insurance company, and we have all the Medicare stuff. We have whatever you need. It's available through contracting through this. And
David, I met some people that have worked business with a full-time job, and when they start making more money part-time with the business, then they can leave their full-time job.
I get you. Are those people buying leads, buying postcard leads?
The ones that I knew were. I mean, you got to get started somehow. I mean, you got to get in front of people.
I get
If
you.
you don't make people, you're not going to make a sale.
I get you. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit old-fashioned, but I would prefer. Okay, this is for you personally. This is what I personally believe you should do. Maybe I have an interest in this. My interest happens to be that we have a major, a top 5 life insurance company that gave us their best contract with the direct order. They said, hey, bring us 10,000 insurance agents who will actually sell. When we recruit final expense people, oftentimes they don't sell. And if you take our website technology and you manipulate it properly, this stuff can be used as a recruiting tool, as a incentive-based marketing tool to give to business owners, which doesn't really come into play for for final expense. You can't give an 82-year-old woman a website for her business.
I'll tell you one thing. When I worked at Lincoln Heritage, and this is true, our top producer, she was 80 years old. So it just depends on the person.
I get you.
I mean, if they really want to do
Well,
it.
you have experience, Kay. You have experience in this business. That's why you work for Lincoln Heritage, so you know what you're doing. You know that whole structure of what they're doing, and you could imitate that structure.
Yeah, I mean, you can make money, but you have to work it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But Lincoln Heritage is the equivalent to New York Life of the final expense business.
Yes, it is. But you're a captive agent.
Right,
I
but-
lost a lot of money.
Right, but at least you have the experience of being in a system of people that knew what they were doing.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Which-
I got extra training.
Right. I mean, the best training you had is you could imitate their system.
Yes, and their system was leads. I mean, the top producers spent a lot of money on leads.
I get you.
And they made money. They really made money.
I get you. So so continue with that. As I mentioned earlier, if I was in this business, I would spend 6 months of my life selling final expense, 6 months selling Medicare, and 6 months selling the annuities, the larger type policies. So you've got that big experience already in the final expense.
I want to just mix it. I mean,
Yeah, mix it up. Some
final expense, mortgage protection. I want to specialize in at least 3-4 different areas. I'm not trying to do everything.
Right. Life insurance. Like if you knock out the Medicare stuff, you're good. Hold on a second. People are calling me. I am at my house. I see you. Bye-bye. They're calling me. They like to play poker.
That's like fun.
They want to play poker. They're like, David.
And that's why I've learned, David, that you can learn from someone that's not making a lot of money. I mean, because everyone has their own experience.
I get you. Okay. Ideally, what I like, Kay, since you're the go-to girl, you have experience in this business. We're looking for. You notice the company that you did the mortgage protections final expense that you are with. You could very easily send invitations to other people. So you could do that today. Similar is going to happen on the major life insurance. You'll be at the top level as well. What we are missing is the white label system for the website builder, which eventually we will get. It may take 3, maybe 4 months. And the reason it's taking much longer than expected is you may have noticed that the quality of the website experience that you have is much, much better than it was even from 2 or 3 months ago. So we've got one, believe it or not, we've got one programmer. I just hired a second one specifically to build a CRM. My main programmer says that should take 2 months, but it'll be separate than the main programmer. As soon as the main programmer finishes what he's doing, he's going to be working on that white label system.
Yeah, I just got involved in something else too. I'm trying some internet marketing. And I must admit, I don't know a lot about this technology, but I don't mind reaching out to get help because it's about getting your name out there. So, like I said, we got to try everything.
But stick to one business like the life insurance. If you've got the experience on Lincoln Heritage, there's no need for you to start doing Medicare. There's only so many things you could do.
Oh, I'm not interested in Medicare.
Right, I get you.
You can't even call them.
Right. On the supplements, you're dealing with upper income people, but in the major cities, even the upper income people are buying Advantage plans. And you're in a big city. You're in Houston, so even in Houston, they're all buying Advantage plans.
Oh yes, definitely buying Medicare Advantage. They're gonna buy that.
They sign their name. They're not even buying it. Okay, so that is this. That is okay. I had a list of words that I kept on repeating. I made the promise that I would keep that in front of me. But this desk is so messy, I can't even find it. The words were, maybe Brian, you could tell me if I say it, that's the scoop in the meantime. So if I ever say those 2 words, please tell me. And Kay for you as well. In the meantime, that's the scoop. You have to ignore those two words. I wrote them down somewhere.
Yeah, I guess in this business, what I'm trying to say, we're still learning. We have to keep learning. We can learn from one another.
Right, but in your business, which is going in front of people, you're specifically supposed to say the same words over and over, as opposed to mixing it up. If something's work, just say the same sales pitch 1,000,000 times in a row.
Yeah, it just depends on the person, you know.
I guess that's part of being human.
Talk fast, you have to kind of talk fast. If you're talking slow, you kind of want to match their pace. You know, it depends on the person.
I get you. That's part of life. That's part of life. But eventually, Kay, I'm gonna get going right now. But please, keep up the good work. If you could concentrate on the companies that we are pushing, life will be good for everyone involved, and everything is, at a certain point in time, just to let you know, I will not be offering direct contracts. I will tell them, hey, join Kay's team in Houston. That's the ideal situation. If I could figure out this YouTube business where I'm, do that whole Oprah Winfrey or Jerry Springer or Ricky Lake, where people show up every day.
Right. Just to get in front of people.
That is
not a lot of businesses, but they're not working.
Right. This system attracts a lot of people that are not at the top of their game, because we do advertise the word. It's a free website. It's free and always will be. It just gets a lot of people that are, part-time in the business. And these people their hands can be held to cause them to physically learn the product line of the major final expense company, the major mutual life insurance company. And, that whole New York Life system of writing down your 200 favorite relatives does not cost money.
200 favorites.
That's what they're doing. I thought it was 15 to 20. They're going 200.
I'm gonna run out.
No, but one relative brings it's their high school yearbook. It's not just friends and relatives. They're going to every person they know. And that's their technique. If we click around to our lead generation page, at the top of nape.org, it does say the word leads. It's a Wikipedia of good information. I just edited this page. I put in additional information after speaking to the New York Life guy. And I put this additional information. I put FYI, I'm doing screen sharing on YouTube. New York Life has its agents make a list of at least 200 friends and family that the new agent will prospect. I wrote that down. That is a technique they're using. I wrote a bunch of other stuff as well. Click here for a page. More good ideas. If you're looking at my screen, play tic-tac-toe with your clients for appointments. In X, in which the client receives $25 or $50, is given to the client for every referral. Alternatively, the agent could give the client $100 for every victory. You decide. One more good idea: throw a pizza party at your appointment's house. They will invite their friends and relatives. Everyone loves a party. But that was specific. Those ideas about tic-tac-toe in the pizza party was specifically to a gentleman who was selling stuff to final expense, lower income, older people.
Yeah, they love parties.
They love parties. If you could play tic-tac-toe and say, hey, and he told me that he would give them $100 if they won. He would let them win the first game. He knew the technique. If whoever gets the center wins, but he didn't want to give away more than $100, so he made sure they didn't win the second game. But these are techniques that people have to be held. Their hands have to be held by regional managers to force these people to do it. Otherwise, they will not do it. And that would be the final expense. So, the postcard companies that are successful, the last will and testament. We built the last will and testament already. We just haven't uploaded it. I just don't see the traction, but that's on the list of what the programmer has to do. But if you scroll down on our website under sales tools, you will see. Actually, if you on our lead-services page, it does mention incentive-based marketing, and it's part of incentive-based marketing. I guess if you are in that market of final expense, it seems reasonable to become a concierge service for final expense clients, getting them good prices and good information on buying a casket, a tombstone at the lowest possible price, knowing the exact experience that these people are going through as they go in, which you've probably done. Is that what they told you at Lincoln Heritage?
Absolutely. They said, when you go in there, I already know the price of the caskets, everything in the area, so you can start quoting prices. So that is perfect. When you go there and you know that information, it really helps to get that sale.
How about that idea of putting on your website that you're an expert on funeral arrangements? I guess you could call yourself a concierge for that situation, and you would have a handy phone number because you've Googled the word online casket. Kay, the local funeral homes, they charge, how much is a casket?
It just depends. I mean, here in Houston, you got some funeral homes that are more expensive than others, and it depends on the type of casket that you have. So the price can vary. I
mean, like, what is it? I don't even know. It
could be more from like 500 to 5,000, depending on what type of casket.
And then what do people buy? They buy the tombstone as well?
Yeah, some of them will buy the tombstone, and then sometimes they just have the flat stone. Some of your cemeteries here don't even have the upright tombstone. You have to buy the flat stone.
I get you. And what's the total package? What it usually runs?
It can be anywhere from $25,000 to $3,000. Like I said, it depends.
For the whole funeral?
No. I'm just talking about for the tombstone, casket, and things like that. When you're talking about the whole funeral, you're looking at a good $11,000-$12,000.
I get you. So that's why if they don't have it paid for, they need insurance or money in the bank.
Right. And some of your larger funeral homes are even more expensive.
If you were to Google the word online casket, would there be a price differential?
From what I'm understanding, you have to go within, so like Texas might be different from New York or what have you. You just have to go in the area.
I mean, like if you go to the local funeral home and you notice like XYZ is, for that casket, they're charging such and such. If you Google the word online caskets, there are companies that ship within 24 hours.
That is true. And what they would train us to do is actually call the funeral home. Call the funeral home and ask questions.
Right. And
write it down and then call the next one. You don't have to call all of them, but just call maybe 2 or 3 and ask questions. So that, like if you're working in Southeast Houston, most of your people out there, they're going to use the funeral homes out there. Call in that area.
I get you.
And ask questions.
Are these funeral homes charging much more than,
yeah.
let's say, fastcaskets.com? I Google the word online caskets. Have you checked out the prices of these people compared to the local?
It is a tremendous markup. I'm trying to think of the name of this store. It's like a wholesale store, and I didn't even know that they sold caskets. they sell it. You just have to, the funeral home is always going to charge you more, but a lot of your clients don't know that they can buy caskets.
Right. So what I would suggest to anyone in that marketplace is to advert or publicize that you're an expert at this stuff, which really means you've Googled the word online caskets and online tombstones, and you know the prices. And you could publish that information on your website and call yourself a concierge service.
I guess it's best to know exactly, have a ballpark figure of what it costs in the area.
Right, I get you. If you develop a relationship with TrustedCaskets.com or Fast Caskets or that wholesale company that you mentioned, these companies, maybe they'll even give you a percentage. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But definitely for your customers' best interest, if you become known in the local community as the person who has all this information, that's probably a good place. And I did mention doyourownwill.com. If you could offer wills to people, that seems like a much better system, like a really good system, especially if you're working a specific geographical area.
It don't take much to just write a will.
I mean, you go to doyourownwill.com and you become a notary public, carry a portable printer in the trunk of your car, and you can rip these out very quickly. There's nothing like being respected as an expert on any field. Once that happens, everything changes. Which is what I'm trying to do. I love to be an expert on setting up YouTube videos like Oprah Winfrey and Jerry Springer.
Jerry.
But nowadays anyone could do this. You don't need a producer. You don't need a director. If you've got a camera, you know how to manipulate the microphones. The good thing about this system is I could always get a couple of people here every day. Which I don't believe any other marketing company in America, insurance marketer, could do that.
I just need to learn how to market online.
Okay, online. I would definitely say, if you're in a big city, okay, if you could become well known in a particular part of that big city, so you don't have to do a lot of traveling, that would be probably the best deal. I would say that concierge and the free will may be the place to go if you're in the final expense business.
Yeah, sometimes it pays, David, to go out in the rural areas too, because when you're in a big city, you got a lot of agents too. So I have made sales just by going out of Houston. Maybe
I get you.
I don't mind going 50 miles, but I don't want to go 100 miles. But, I'm 50 miles from Galveston, so I could ride to Galveston and places like that, But sometimes it's better to get out of Houston because it's a lot of agents.
I get you. But if you're the one person providing the tic-tac-toe and giving away money for if they win, based on referrals, you're giving away that free last will and testament and notarizing it for them, I believe you could be pretty popular in a local community.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You just really in the big city, David, you really have to know people. I mean, you can't party with everybody. There's a lot of crime going on in Houston now. It's like it was in the 80s. I mean,
wow. Hey, didn't the cell phones eliminate? Did the cell phones when they came out with those cell phone cameras? People that thought about doing crime, they said, "Hey, maybe I should do something else." Did that change in the past couple of years?
It's bad here. I mean, they said that crime up here in the city is up 79% and homicide is up 25%. So it's pretty bad here. We got a lot of road rage where people are shooting people on the road. So
wow, and Houston is
since the 80s.
Houston's a city where people drive everywhere, right?
Yeah, and it's the city where people are packing, so they got a lot of guns here.
A lot of guns in there, but they're not walking by each other so much.
They just driving by shooting you.
Oh, So you're saying in Houston they can't see they not like they really want to shoot each other so bad they'll do it any way they can. Since they're not walking by each other, they do it from their car.
If you cut them off, you could get shot up. This has happened several times this month.
Wow.
So it's rough here. So that's why I'm saying you don't want to party with everybody. You don't know them. You don't want to party with them. You sell them the policy and get out.
I worked in I made my first money in Miami, Liberty City. I knocked on every door for about 2-3 years. I looked for multi-unit apartment complexes of low income for people on. It was an insurance program, something for people on Medicaid, and I would just knock on their doors. And all of
Never done, and I never will.
you will not, it was only one area where when it got dark, I really got out of, but the rest of it was okay.
It's different now. It's just rough. Everybody got guns here.
Well, in Houston they have guns. They don't have as much guns in the rest in other places.
Well, they didn't let it pass a law here where you don't even have to have a permit now. All you have to do is just have a gun.
Right, you can't have a felony record. Is that one of the requirements?
Yeah, but that's not. Well, we already know the felons already have guns. The criminals already have guns. They're going to pass that law where you don't even need to take a class. You don't need a permit. Just buy a gun and you pass.
Oh, it's like going to the 7-Eleven store that's selling guns.
Yeah, the problem is if you get a lot of people with guns and they don't know how to shoot these guns, they'll be trying to shoot one person and shoot the next.
Wow, so it's a little bit dangerous. So you can't. So people are very respectful in Texas of not getting into arguments. It seems.
We got a lot of people from a lot of different places here. It's the Wild Wild West.
You don't want to get into an argument there. Imagine getting into an argument and like 4 out of the 7 people have guns in their pocket.
Everybody's packing. You don't want to cut anybody off.
Wow. How about are they going to bars? In bars, do they have guns?
Everybody's got a gun.
Oh, so like they're not stopping them. You could go into the bar, get drunk, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, they all have guns. And the thing about it, a lot of them have the high-powered guns, you know?
It's like, I guess if there's ever a war, if Guatemala ever invades, I guess the high power really helps.
They're ready.
If Canada invades, Canada is right on the border, so you never know.
Yeah, they're ready down here. It's like I said, the Wild Wild West state. So in some neighborhoods, I might work, but when the sun gets close to sunset, I'm out.
Yeah, I did that. I was going through that for a couple of years. Did they shoot in the air on weddings like they do in subcultures?
Oh yeah, during the 4th of July and during the even though they outlawed it, they still do it now. Personally, I'm not in Houston. I live in Fort Bend County, but I'm right there, on the line.
So those falling bullets are pretty dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, you have people just drive-bys where they drive by and shoot up people's houses and all kind of crazy things. It's just crazy here. Very crazy.
Very crazy. I guess the cell phones cameras really work in big cities where you have pedestrians, but if you're driving everywhere, well they have the tag in the back of their car if they're taking pictures.
Yeah, everybody's got a cell phone. I'm not afraid of cell phones. I'm afraid of people just shooting.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, once it happened once, there's no second chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Everybody's packing.
Wow, that's
Got a lot of angry people. So
angry people. Wow, that's not good. Being angry, drunk, and having a gun, that's not a good formula.
yeah, and a lot of drunk driving. They're getting on the freeways, driving the opposite directions, killing people.
Well, okay, Kay, I don't want to give you any advice, but I feel compelled. If you stay away from the news for 30 days, I believe you'll end up smiling more.
No, I hardly ever watch the news, but I just get on, just turn it on and watch the weather before I go to work. But I hate the news. Negative things on the news.
You eat that.
I couldn't sell no policy. I'd be too
Right. Yeah. Don't watch the news. It won't help. It won't help.
They don't tell you anything good. All you hear about is the bad stuff.
Well, it seems like in Houston, there's no shortage of bad stuff.
Well, it's just wow. I mean, I haven't seen it like this, like I said, since the 80s, and that was done in crack cocaine era.
Well, when people are really demented from that new drug.
Yeah. I don't know. It's my city. I love it. Things are going to get better.
Okay.
So I'm in Fort Bend County. You know, I'm not in Harris County, but I work in Harris County, so
I get
I'm
you.
a lead.
I get you. Okay, I'm gonna get going, Kay, but I'm definitely counting on you to make this happen. I'm not sure you know this, but I just want to sit in front of a computer, push a couple of companies, give you guys a select number of leaders the top contract and have everything flow through you. That's really what the game plan is. That's why we're doing all this programming stuff. When my programmer said, hey, he can make a better website with videos and more templates, we're probably at the stage, we're definitely at the stage where this website technology that we're providing is better than you could get anything else, which is a pretty high level.
Yes, indeed.
Which was not the case before. That was definitely not the case before. And that's why I'm on YouTube right now, because I just have to get publicity. And if I could have the skill set that Ricky Lake had back in the day, I'm sure this will become viral and there'll be so many people coming in, but the vast majority of people that come into the system do not sell anything. Literally, they sell zip. So I realize that they need, similar to what New York Life and all these other companies, they need regional managers and regional offices to take over.
CJW said it's not just Houston, it's all over Texas.
Right. See, that was the postcard company?
And I was reading a message here from...
about the violence.
Yeah, he said it's all over Texas. Okay, no need to go further.
So it's everywhere. Yeah. Well, it could be that people that, I don't know what to tell you. I know the crime went way down when this camera stuff came in. You do a crime and everyone's taking your picture.
Right.
They said it was the politicians that did it, but it was probably more that everyone carrying a camera.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to, like my mother used to say, we have to stay prayed up and just go out there and do what you have to do.
Well, what they're
you'll go crazy. You won't do anything. You be sitting back in your house and step outside. So.
But they're gonna end up massively improving the camera technology to even a higher level. You're gonna see cameras on every street on like to grab that license plate of anyone doing drive-by shootings.
I think they already have that. A lot of the lights that you think are lights are cameras.
Wow! So they're doing it. So it's. So I guess that'll improve. Okay, there is someone on the call from Jackson, Mississippi. Hi, hello, Jackson, Mississippi, or Mississippi. We are good to go. I'm gonna get off this call, Kay. I am here 6 days per week. I just told you the secret plan is to become like Jerry Springer. So I have to learn how to manipulate this YouTube and all that other good stuff.
All right, sounds great, David.
I'll see you then. Take care.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye. I do appreciate everyone on YouTube that has been on this call. In essence, you've heard a conversation, but we are a technology company. We're trying to get people to sign up, sign up for the free website, put the website on your own domain name, do the proper steps to move up the search engine. Lo and behold, you'll be offered game-changing, very high commissions or recruiter-level commissions from my company as an aside, but there's no strings, no catches, no nothing. And at a certain point, as you heard the conversation with Kay, we will not be offering these game-changing, very high commissions, but in the meantime, they are available. You might as well take advantage of it. But our technology... But the technology that we are offering is second to none. It can't get better. There's a couple of things we are in the midst of implementing, such as last will and testament that will be at the bottom of every website. You'll also see a CRM attached to this system, which I suppose it's all database. It's not that very hard to do. Last but not least, a white label system. White label means recruiters will be able to use this technology to give this website to other insurance agents. Those other insurance agents will have no idea that my company exists. When that gets done, I suppose I will be out of the insurance agent recruiting business, and anyone who comes into our system will have to go through regional managers. But in the meantime, this is the Wild West. Everything is available. You might as well take advantage of what we're offering. Take care. Please subscribe. Please like. Please make a comment. I do appreciate y'all coming here today.